let's start by talking about the different groups you might have in your family that's
Mm-hmm.
traveling together.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you might have kids who are traveling, but and they can go off and be away from the rest of the family, but they need supervision.
Oh man.
Um, well, when you're little, you don't want to leave a 4-year-old wandering
Oh,
alone on the cruise ship.
I'm little, so.
Well, no, it's age wise.
Oh,
Age
okay.
wise. So kids needing
Phew.
supervision. So for them, the first thing that we would recommend is checking out the kids clubs. All these cruise lines, every cruise line, major cruise line that I'm familiar with has kids clubs, and we'll get into real specifics about them when we talk about specific cruise lines. But they have a place they can go and be with other kids their age, and have somebody from the ship, an employee, supervising them and helping them to have fun on the cruise while you're off doing things that they wouldn't enjoy so much.
Right.
So we're going to talk more about kids clubs in a little bit here, because there's quite a bit of information on kids clubs that I think can be really interesting.
Yeah.
And for kids that have never been on a cruise before, it might be really interesting for them to find out what they'd be doing in these kids clubs. So we'll talk about that.
Sometimes they're very informative.
The kids clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Now let's talk about.
Threw you off for a moment.
Yes. So that's kids needing supervision. Kids and teens off on their own. Kids and teens who don't need the supervision. They're not going to go on a cruise by themselves, but they can, during the day, they can go off and kind of do things without mom and dad being around them. And quite frankly, they probably would rather mom and dad don't constantly hang out with them. They want some space.
Exactly.
So whatever age that is in your family, whatever age you feel that's appropriate, there's a lot of things for them to do on a cruise. You've probably seen, even if you haven't been on a cruise ship, you've probably seen a lot of them have water slides.
Oh, yeah.
They also, you may not know, a lot of them typically they have a video arcade. So there's a lot of places they can go off and do their own activities,
Right.
and have a great time.
And some cruise ships have like gaming areas. I've seen.
Oh, like specific areas where they can play games, shuffleboard, pool.
No, like electronic games, like
Oh,
Mario Brothers or
video
actual
games.
video games.
Gotcha. Yes. So there's a lot of options. They really, and especially in the kids clubs and the teen clubs, they find a lot of great activities that are age appropriate, that are going to appeal to the different age groups within your family.
Exactly.
We should also talk about, of course, it's not just about the kids. It's not just about the kids and the teens.
No.
There's also adults traveling. And that's particularly close to my heart, because I like to think that I'm an adult.
Well, I guess I'm an adult, but I still feel like I'm a kid.
A kid at heart.
Yeah.
Yes. So for the adults, there's plenty of activities, and a great number of our videos in the past, we've talked about things you can do on a cruise as an adult. Even on Disney Cruise Line, where you think of it as being a family-oriented, kid-focused cruise line, there's a lot of activities that are just for the adults, like the mixology classes, wine tastings, the activities in the nightclub area.
You can play
on Disney
bingo.
Dream, it's called the
can
District.
play...
Yeah, a lot of different things like that. And on some of the cruise lines, they've got the casinos and bingo and stuff like that, right? So there's and the shows, there's the comedy clubs, a lot of great things just for the adults. So you could see, as the family goes off into different groups based on their age or interest level, they can find a lot of different things that they can do as separate, smaller groups, or as individuals meeting up with other people their age.
I mean, they all cruise ships have something for everybody.
Yes, I certainly hope so. Because if you can't find something you'd enjoy doing on a cruise ship, you probably aren't going to be very happy doing anything about anywhere, because they have so much to choose from.
Exactly.
But the point I wanted to get to is that also, even when you're going on a family cruise and everybody's running off during the day and doing their different kids clubs or their activities, adult-only activities, whatever it is, I think it's a good and a big tip that I would throw out there is to find a way to spend time together on the cruise as a family.
Like the meals?
Yes, mealtime. That's a great example. At certain time or certain times during the days, find a time to meet back up again, arrange to meet back at in your cabin or at the buffet or the main dining room. Find ways to spend time together as a family, and that's a way to kind of catch up and find out how it's going. What the different things that everybody's been doing.
Right.
Compare notes.
I've seen families get together by a pool table, like the pool, and there's a table by it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not a pool table where
Oh,
you
boy.
shoot billiards, but where they were playing card games, or
Yeah.
even on the deck, people were playing card games like Uno and
Those. And anyway, yeah. So we'll get more into that. You're giving away some of our other stuff here that we're going to be talking about in just a minute
Right.
too. But there's a lot of things to do. We've got to say hi to the Magic City family.
Hey,
Good to have you
Magic
here.
City family.
They love going on cruises. You're in the right place if you love going on cruises.
Yeah.
We really love cruises.
We love cruises. Can you tell?
Especially Disney cruises, it's much more relaxing going to the parks. Yeah, and you can actually get within a few feet of Mickey Mouse without having to go through about 50 people or more.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
if you're on a Disney cruise ship, you get to see first run movies.
Yes. That's a cool thing about Disney. And we've also got Matthew and Lauren here.
Hey, Matthew, Lauren.
Good to see you here. They've got a great new video out in the series that's going to be coming of them being on a celebration cruise. I think it was Carnival Vista. We just watched their day one video
we just watched
earlier today.
I'm excited to see what you think of Alaska.
Do I wait here?
No.
Oh, keep going. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So be sure to check out them. Another great channel. So we got a lot of great calling out the different people that are watching that have channels. Be sure to check them out. I just get that out of the way here because we got to keep moving. So now let's talk about different cruises, different family cruise experiences you can have, and what you can do. And we were kind of thinking more of the kids and teens, but I think these apply to really basically anybody going on a cruise. So we're going to talk about activities based on interest. Mm-hmm. So first of all, let's start off by talking about the adventurer.
Ooh,
and this is the person who wants to be really active. Maybe they're athletic, they're really outgoing. They don't want to sit by the pool and just relax.
Like a sweet potato.
Yeah, they don't want a sweet potato. That's okay. I've never heard that term. Like a couch potato?
Oh, yeah.
You become sweet when you're on a cruise. Sure. So the adventurer. So for the adventurer, there's so many things you can do. What are some of the really active activities that the adventurer can find on a cruise?
Well, you can either find like on Royal, if you happen to be on there, their flow rider. On other ships, they have rope courses, and they have rope. There's always the sports area where you can play basketball.
The sports court.
Yep.
Mini golf.
Mm-hmm.
There's also we were just talking about it earlier. What we were trying to remember the name.
The trampoline thing.
Yeah, on Royal Caribbean. What is that big dome thing? Skypad. I think that's what we actually had to look that up because we were like debating over the name of that.
I was thinking it was zero gravity for some reason.
Well, it's when you jump into the air, it's kind of doing zero gravity, but it incorporates a trampoline type setup with virtual reality. Right. So if you're an adventurer, that's a really adventurous thing to do.
That's too adventurous.
Too adventurous for you? Well, then probably the zip line on the Oasis class ships would be maybe too adventurous too.
I like to have my feet on solid surfaces.
On a solid surface. So there's a lot of different things you can do as the adventurer on the cruise ship. And we're just focusing on the cruise ship. You get off to the islands and go on excursions or go to the private islands. There's even more. But we're only focusing on the ship here. We're focusing on onboard activities. And
you can play shuffleboard. You can play the beanbag toss bag thing.
Yeah, and not to mention the water slides. I swear some kids I've seen on ships, it seems like that's what they do the whole time. They get breakfast, they head to the water park, they grab a burger or a hot dog or something, and they get back to the water park, and it's like ongoing nonstop. So that's kind of anything else on the adventure. I think there's so many, and they're constantly adding it. I mean, like Norwegian has ships now. They've even got like a go-kart race car.
I know. That sounds so much fun.
Yeah, and there's a couple different cruise lines have the laser tag.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of very active things you can do on a cruise ship. Don't think you're going to be sitting in a chair and just watching the ocean the whole time.
I've heard some cruise lines have incorporated escape rooms.
No, I hadn't heard that.
I don't remember which cruise lines they were. But.
Well, let's move on to our next interest category, and let's talk about the artist.
Oh yeah.
So you've got people that are very artistic, that enjoy doing arts, that enjoy doing crafts. What are some of the activities that they could do on a cruise?
So arts and crafts cover a wide range because you can have little kids coloring. You can have bigger kids, even little to big, doing cupcake decorating or like a cooking thing. Or they have, on some cruise ships, they have craft. What was it called?
Yeah, on Carnival they have Make It with Michaels.
Yep.
It's the Michaels, the craft store that you find on land. They actually bring some of the craft projects on board, and last I saw, it's free, and you can go there and you can make a craft while you're on board and take it home with you.
Right.
Nice souvenir.
And then some ships have Build-A-Bear. Is that Carnival?
That's Carnival.
Okay.
Carnival has that, I know.
They have Carnival, so they can design their own special bear and have it wear the special clothes.
Yeah. So a lot of artistic things you can do on a cruise ship. So check the daily schedule in the app on your phone, or the daily schedule on board. So many activities that for the artistic person, and depending on what you're into. I mean, they have cooking classes too, which is a different type of being artistic. But if you're a creative person, you're going to find activities that you're going to enjoy on board. We also, on our last Disney cruise, we did
character drawing.
Yeah, animation class. Yeah, we ended up drawing, and we didn't know what we were drawing until we got halfway through it. You figured it out pretty fast.
Yeah, it was Stitch.
Yeah, we were drawing Stitch. So if you know your Disney
he did a better Stitch than me.
I don't know about that, but if you're an artistic person, check out the animation classes and check the daily schedule for other things like the cupcake decorating. I love that idea. That sounds like a lot of fun too.
And for the adults, they have like craft mixing drinks that you went to a class.
Oh, mixology class? Yeah, that's a whole different type of art, but hey.
But it's a type of art.
Yeah.
You know.
I enjoyed that a lot.
So they have different like art projects for every level.
Yes, even if you might need to be a little older for some of those activities. Yeah. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next group, which this is one that we really need to get some attention to because they love the limelight, and that is the Star.
Yes.
What kind of activities do you have for the little, or maybe the not so little Star that might be coming along on our cruise?
I would say do any of the family games that they can get involved in. Do karaoke.
Oh, karaoke, sure.
So I'm sure they have like karaoke for all ages.
Yep.
And
the game shows. Is that what you're talking about with games?
The game shows.
Yeah.
Plus, you can get special photography pictures, so they can dress up and.
Yep, you can dress up, and they have some of the cruise lines have different theme nights where one night might be like more of a formal night. Yep, and maybe get a picture taken with the captain. You know, if you're looking for the limelight, you want to be the star. Another thing is, you mentioned before on Disney, for the little princesses, they can go to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and they can get made up like a princess. Yeah. Talk about being a star, especially on a Disney cruise ship. How
in their hair.
That's right. So, not something I'm going to be signing up for myself. Probably outside the age limits on that. But if you've got a little princess at home, something to keep in mind, an activity that they might want to check out.
So, older female adults, and sometimes men, go to the spa and get all made up and everything.
Yeah. So that's another way to be a star, to pamper yourself.
Yep.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah. So a lot of different things, especially if you bring a spa into it. Basically it's your cruise. Have a great time. Try things you haven't tried before. And if you were like, I want this to be the time where I really shine, go to the spa. Go get the photos taken. Have these amazing memories.
Get shined up so you sparkle.
Puffed. I don't know. I'm going to stay clear of that place. But hey, if you enjoy it, go for it.
Well, you can get a massage, and you can get like a lot of beauty treatments that will make your skin brighter and shinier. And, I don't
Okay,
know.
you can do that. You can do that. I think I'm gonna let's keep going. Let's keep moving on here. Let's move to a different category. Let's talk about another type of person, a person who has a different type of interest. Let's talk about the reader.
Oh yeah.
And this is a person who might not be wanting to be like hanging out on stage, singing karaoke. Maybe they're not looking for the limelight so much. They're just looking for a peaceful spot to read a good book, whether an actual old school book or an electronic book.
Yeah.
What ideas do you have for them?
So there's so many places that they can read.
Mhm.
They can read by the pool. They can read by, if they have a deck or a balcony, they can read on the balcony, or they can go outside and along the balcony edge, or no, what is that?
The deck.
The deck against the ship.
Yep.
They have all these benches where you can sit and relax, and there's hardly anyone walking around on the deck. So, or if you want a really quiet place, not in the weather, you go to the library.
Yep, a lot of these ships have libraries.
Really comfortable chairs where you can sit and just read.
Yep.
Read to your heart's content.
Yeah, I remember on our cruise to Alaska, our sister-in-law found this really comfortable chair she just fell in love with in one of the lounges that during the day was fairly quiet, and it was a great spot for her to just kind of hang out and read. Yeah. And on the Disney ships, it's not just Disney, but I think Disney does it the best with the huge porthole windows in the public areas.
They have
with the benches.
Seating.
You can sit there and read there too.
That's great.
So a lot of great spots for doing that too.
And you can use your e-reader or just a book you brought from home.
Yep.
Or from the library.
Yeah, and so and I wanted to say a little something else about this at this point. And obviously we're talking about in just general terms. Everybody's different. Some people might be like all these categories or multiple. They might want to be doing karaoke at night and reading a book during the day or whatever,
Right.
So we're just trying to give you some ideas based on some general types of activities.
Exactly.
But one thing I wanted to say, and since we were just talking about the reader, I think is why I thought of it, because some people are maybe, and especially thinking about kids and teens, are a little more introverted and are maybe feeling a little nervous about going on a cruise, especially you start talking about kids clubs and being on board with all these people and strange new experiences, and it might be, they might be a little anxious about it. So what I would say for experience for two things. One, for the reader, for those that want to read books, that's what they would enjoy on the ship. Have them talk to them about what the experience can be like, that they can be reading a book while they're looking at the ocean, that they can be sitting off in a quiet spot on the ship, watching them, the wake of the ship as they sail away. And maybe that'll inspire some of the book choices. Maybe they want to read Treasure Island or something. I don't know.
Dick.
Or Moby Dick. Yeah. Moby. What did you think I said? But anyway.
I thought you said Moby.
Well, that's a different book. So talk to them, and let them know kind of what the possibilities are. That it doesn't mean just because they're going on a cruise ship with a bunch of other kids who are going to be flying down the water slide, that if what they want to spend their time doing or more of their time doing is reading, that there's an opportunity to do that too.
Yeah, it's their vacation too.
Yeah, and when they get on board, they may find that they want to try out some of these other things. So the other thing I would say for any kids, adults, or anybody who's a little like going on the first cruise and is a little unsure about it and not sure if it's for them to kind of go along with the family, to kind of go along with the idea, is to put them in charge of doing a little bit of the research.
Yeah.
Ask them to find some of the activities that they want to do and that they suggest for the family.
That's brilliant, Dan.
Excuse me.
I like that.
So put a good way to get somebody that's not so sure they want to do it in charge of that sort of thing.
Yeah, so
get
they
them
feel
excited,
involved.
yes, and help them to kind of feel more comfortable with what they're going to be experiencing. Watch some YouTube videos. We got some. There's a lot of other great channels that have a lot of great informational videos about the different ships and the different activities. And you can go online and check the websites out for the specific cruise line and information on the specific ship.
That's brilliant.
So, well, thank you.
Brilliant idea.
Okay. So with that note, and while I take another drink of water, let's move on to the next. You want to tell them the next interest category that we have?
is the social butterfly.
That's right. What's the social butterfly?
Oh, someone like me, I guess, who likes to be social and talk to people and interact with other people and
Really outgoing and
outgoing.
like on our last cruise, our a carnival. You exchanged numbers with I think her name was Bridget,
Right.
or emails or something, and you meet people like that, and you maybe exchange contact information.
Right.
I'm a little more introverted or not quite the social butterfly, but you definitely are
Yeah.
outgoing in that way. So, what kind of activities do we have for them?
Oh, there's
Let's start with the kids. Let's go with the obvious one, the kids clubs, right? The kids clubs and the teens clubs. That's where they can meet other kids or teens their age, exchange social media information so they can stay in contact after the cruise. That's somebody they can hang out with and play games. And we'll talk more about what you can do in the kids clubs in a little bit. But that for the social butterfly, the kids clubs is going to be a place where they're going to be really
able to socialize and be
able
themselves,
to spread their wings and fly, right?
Yeah.
So
that's why it's called the social butterfly.
Oh, thanks. But let me back up again. I was talking before about people who, and we're talking here more about kids and teens again, who are maybe a little less like the social butterfly and are like, ooh, a kids club. I don't know. I don't want to meet a bunch of strange kids. It's like first day of school again. It's making them nervous.
All right.
Is one thing that we found that even us without kids, we were able to do is a lot of times, typically on the first day of the cruise, the very beginning, when you're first getting on board, you can go as adults with your kids and tour the kids clubs. So you can, it's not like you just send them off there and say goodbye. You can take them there and they can meet the people, the staff members, the crew that's in charge of the kids club that they'll be seeing during the week.
They can see what activities.
Yeah, and they can start to see.
Do.
Yeah, and they can start to see some of the other kids that are going to be there with them.
Exactly.
So that's a good way to help with any anxiety they might have about that sort of thing too. So also for the social butterfly, there's things that kind of merge over into the category of star too, like karaoke. You can do that as a group. A lot of the games and activities you can do as a group.
Sometimes they have what's it called? Treasure hunt.
Treasure hunt?
Like not a treasure
scavenger hunt?
Scavenger hunt.
Oh yeah. That could be a lot of fun.
I've seen that happen on several ships.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I have seen that too, and kind
of like, oh, you're wanting something? See if I have a paper clip.
Yes, you have a paper clip.
Yeah.
No, I'm on a cruise. I don't have a paper clip. Anyway, so social butterfly, plenty of activities they can do where they could interact with other people.
Exactly.
There's games during the day, activities. Where you can interact with other people.
Or they have a little parade sometimes, like with
the
Carnival,
Cat in the Hat
Seuss.
parade. Yeah, Dr. Seuss. Is it Dr. Seuss? Yeah. So there's that too. So let's move on. We've got, so we covered several different activity or interest types. Now we can talk about some of the other kind of general interests that we didn't cover because let's face it, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own types of interests, and you can find all kinds of different activities on board.
Right.
We mentioned before some of the other things you can do, like everything from the quiet of the library to the excitement of the flow rider and the water slides. And there's also the go-kart tracks. There's also cooking classes on a lot of them. Or cooking demonstrations, I should say.
Yeah, that's fun. Or mixology classes.
Right. Or trivia.
Trivia is good one.
Music, what was it? Guess the song type competition.
Like
that sort of thing.
That song.
Yep. And there's also seems to be always several things going on in the main theater where they're having like telling you about the next port you're going to be in, the welcome on board show, the morning show.
You can go to the morning show and sometimes win champagne.
Yes, that happened to you. And you mentioned it every video. The champagne you won, and you gave it away.
I gave it away.
That's great. That's a good job. You were the first one there, so you won it.
Yeah,
it's good job. Also, of course, we mentioned the main theater. We got to mention they've got the shows. They've got like Broadway style shows on the main stage in the theaters. And if you're in an entertainment junkie, that's maybe another category. We've also got movies. Sometimes by the pool, and on Disney they've got them in movie theaters, actual movie theaters. So
I
plenty of
saw
different
Frozen 2
activities.
twice.
So Frozen 4. Yes. So a lot of different activities, whatever your interest is.
Yeah.
I really tell you, I really think you're going to find something. But I also challenge you to try something new, to go outside of your comfort zone a little bit. And
You
try
might have a
something new.
lot of fun.
That's right.
There's something for everybody, and it's your vacation. You can do as much as you want or as little as
That's
you want.
right. That's up
That's
to
the
you.
beauty about the cruise, because
Yes.
it's your cruise. You can relax and do nothing and
Right.
relax. Or
So let's talk. Before we talk about specific cruise lines, let's go back just a minute and talk about kind of what you're talking about there too. Is a family cruise, whether it's you got young kids, teens, or even it's all adults traveling together.
mm-hmm.
What you want to, what I recommend, a tip I will give, and I think you'll agree with me,
Yep.
is that find some time to, don't feel like you have to do everything together all the time.
Yeah.
Find some time to break off into different groups. Maybe a couple in the group wants to go off and have a nice dinner together.
Have a date night.
Yeah. Or maybe some people might be interested in going to seeing a show at night, and other people would rather go hang out, I don't know, by the pool or somewhere.
Or some people may just want to sleep.
Some people might want to sleep at night. Yes.
Yeah.
Some people might
They don't
be
want
early
to stay
risers.
up.
So don't you try to work into your family vacation, your family cruise, times where you do things together as a family, and times where you kind of break off and do things by interest or age.
When you were traveling with your family,
Mm-hmm.
we met usually for dinner,
Mm-hmm.
dinner and lunch, I think.
Yep. And then we did some other activities together and excursions, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to have a nice balance of doing family activities together, and then also doing, breaking down into separate groups. And yeah.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about some specific cruise lines, starting with Carnival. Carnival, some of the things we mentioned about Carnival, I want to mention again too, is they have some special activities that you can do really for the whole family.
Right.
Make it with Michael's, the craft program, where they'll supply the materials, and you can make a craft while you're on board, and you take it home with you.
Yeah.
They also, for the kids, I believe you mentioned the Build-A-Bear workshop, which they have on a lot of the Carnival ships.
That's
do that.
Cool.
They also, of course, have water slides on the ships, and they have Carnival waterworks on most of the ships, and a lot of other fun activities. Some of the bigger ships have things like the ropes courses, and the new ship, the Mardi Gras, and the ships that they're building now have the Bolt roller coaster on it. So a lot of very active things you can do.
That sounds like fun.
Yes. So a lot of great activities on there. So, but for the kids and teens, let's talk about the kids clubs that are available on Carnival. Let's see. So I'll put on the screen here a list of the different kids clubs. So they've got a kids club for infants. So those under 2 years old, that's called Camp Ocean Infants. And then their main category of kids clubs is Camp Ocean, and they break them down into penguins, stingrays, and sharks based on age.
Wow.
So, and this is similar to the kind of the age breakdown that you'll see in different groups. So you don't have to worry that, as an 11-year-old, you're going to be put in a group of kids that are doing things that are more for, a 5-year-old or something. They have it broken down similar to the way you would have it, activities back home.
Wow.
And then for Circle C, they cover the what do they call tweens from 12 to 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
And then Club O2, that's for the teens. That's 15 to 17-year-olds.
Wow.
So Carnival Cruise Line breaks them down to a lot of different groups, and you can go there, and we'll get some examples of some of the activities that they do in just a minute. But that's Carnival. Anything else we should say specifically about Carnival or Carnival kids clubs or teen clubs in particular?
I think you've covered it.
Okay, so let's move on and let's talk about Disney next.
Yay, Disney.
Disney's got to have the kids clubs and the teen clubs because what are you doing?
I'm pointing to Olaf and the Disney Cup.
Yes, you've got some Disney stuff back there. We've got a lot of Disney stuff back there, actually. So Disney has a lot of different activities that you can do. One thing you can do in the park too, but it's a lot easier on a cruise ship. And we mentioned this earlier. You can meet the characters.
Yeah, you can meet a lot of the characters.
That's right.
Like they have a character meeting, a princess meeting.
Yes.
You can meet all the princesses if you want to, and
Yep.
you just gotta look on your daily itinerary.
Yep.
But they're there, and then they're also just walking around randomly.
Yep.
So you can take photo shots of them.
That's
too.
right. You can take photos with them, and the princess meetups. At least at the time, the first Disney cruise. I didn't check this last time. The first Disney cruise we went on, you have to actually sign up for this. So be sure to reserve your time for your little princess to meet the princesses on board. But that's a fun activity you can do on the Disney ships. But they also have the aqueduct, which is it's like a rafting ride that goes across the top of the ship. Yeah, and of course they've got multiple pools. And they've got a water area just for the littler kids.
Yep. That water area for the little ones is so cute. It looks like so much fun.
Yep. So, and of course, they've got the movies, like I mentioned before, in the theater, and they've got movies that they show by the pool. So, a lot of great entertainment. They've also got, Pirate Nights, Star Wars, Marvel at Sea, a lot of different entertainment.
I think they had a Marvel parade once too, walking around.
Yep. So, and we should mention for food, there's a lot of different food options on all these different cruise lines, but for Disney, they're definitely very aware of what the kids are going to be interested in, and they've got things like chicken fingers and hot dogs and stuff like that you can grab out by the pool. Pizza, of course. A lot of great options that appeal to people of all ages. So your family members aren't going to go hungry on Disney. Let's talk a little bit about the Disney Kids Clubs. So the Disney Kids Clubs, break them down like this. They have it's a Small World nursery. Now, currently, as of the time of this airing of this video, they're currently closed because I imagine it's because not a lot of the little kids are sailing right now, but I'm sure they'll have that back open eventually. The Oceaneer Club and the Oceaneer Lab covers ages from 3 to 12, and that's a really cool area that we saw on the Disney Dream. They even had an area where you could go into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah,
pretend like you're flying the Millennium Falcon. So
you can actually check that out on the first day of the cruise while you're touring all the kids areas.
Yeah, be sure to check those out even if you don't have kids, because it's really cool. So the Oceaneer Club and the Oceaneer Lab for ages 3 to 12. And then for the tweens, they've got Edge. And for the teens, they've got Vibe. And Vibe, we got a chance to take a look at too, and had a lot of cool looks like video games and air hockey and stuff like that.
Yeah, it looked like fun. I wanted to hang out there.
Yeah.
They said, man, you're too old.
Oh, that's not fair.
Ouch.
So that's the Disney Club. So let's talk now about Royal Caribbean. So Royal Caribbean has a lot of activities, and I think that they really do a good job of offering a lot of things for what we were talking about before, the adventurer.
Yeah.
So they've got things like the Flow Rider. They've got the what do we call it before, the Sky Pad? I keep forgetting that.
What's the zip line?
The zip line on some of the ships. They've got iFly on some of the lines. So it's like a skydiving simulator.
I thought you were talking about the big arm that moves around.
That's the North Star. That's another thing they have. So a lot of activities, a lot of them that we're mentioning there are a little bit more physical, a little bit more outgoing, but a lot of activities like that. Of course, they've got like the other cruise ships. They've got the mini golf, but some of the Royal Caribbean ships even have ice skating rinks. You can not only go watch an ice skating show, but you can, during certain times, you can sign up to go skating yourself.
Wow!
On a cruise ship.
No, thank you.
Imagine that. Well, hey, this is what it is. It's different things for different people.
Exactly.
So that's another option. A lot of great activities appeal to a lot of the family, and they've got. You mentioned before. You were talking about games. Well, I remember on our Royal Caribbean cruise, we went to Playmakers, and they had games there too. But I'm not talking about video games.
They had like the old board games,
like board games. You could sit there
like
and you could
Trivia
play
Pursuit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And thank you for not mentioning that you beat me again. But a lot of different activities you can do. Trivia, you name it.
It's fun.
Yes.
They have. They have. I
think
they have
games
Yahtzee.
Again? Okay, I don't know. You can guarantee specific games. And on other cruise lines, in the library, you can find some board games too. Yeah, so that is Royal Caribbean. Let's talk about Royal Caribbean's kids clubs,
Okay.
because they've got those two. They've got broken down into different groups. The Royal Babies and Tots is from 6 to 36 months. So that's basically 6 months to 3 years old is the Royal Babies and Tots.
Okay.
Adventure Ocean breaks down into 3 different groups. So you got the Aquanauts, which are 3 to 5, the Explorers, which are 6 to 8, and the Voyagers that are from ages 9 to 11.
Wow.
And then they got the teens broken down into 2 different groups of 12 to 14 and then 15 to 17. So you can see they're breaking them down into very specific age groups. They're kind of similar from cruise line to cruise line. So let's talk about one more cruise line, and then I want to talk about what kinds of activities you can expect to find in these different kids clubs. So let's move on now to our last of the 4 we're going to talk about, and that's Norwegian. Norwegian Cruise Line is going to have, depending on if you go on one of their earlier ships or you go on one of the newer ships, they're going to have a wide variety of activities from, they're going to have the water slides, they're going to have the, on the newer ships, they have the go-kart track, did they have the escape room on there? I thought they did. I know they had the
maybe on
laser
the
tag.
newer
Yeah,
ships?
on the newer ships. Yep.
Yeah.
So a lot of different types of activities. Of course, like the other cruise lines, they have comedy clubs or comedy performers. On depending on the ship, it might be a specific club or it might be assigned to a certain room. What have I forgotten for Norwegian? I feel like a lot of this is repetitive because all the cruise lines
have. Did you
have.
show the Norwegian kids clubs?
Nope, we're going to show that in just a minute. But they have some, like the other cruise lines, they have mini golf. They have a lot of other activities. You can watch shows, and
you can watch movies by the pool.
That's right. And check your app, your daily planner, to find the different activities you can find on board. There's something for everybody.
Sometimes they do have theme days too.
Theme days?
Like I'll wear white.
Oh yeah.
Or
like the glow party, or
the glow party.
Yep.
Yeah.
So whether it's for the kids or the adults, they've got something for everybody.
Yeah.
And then the Norwegian kids clubs you were asking about, there's the Guppies Nursery. Now that's from 6 months to 3 years old, but that's not available on all the ships, just so you know. The main kids club is in the Splash Academy, and Splash Academy is broken down into the Turtles, which are 3 to 5, Seals 6 to 9, Dolphins 10 to 12, and Entourage, which is 13 to 17. So the teens have got their own entourage. So you may be asking, what do these different groups do? And this is why the reason why they're breaking down these different groups is because a kid that's 4-year-old doesn't want to do the same thing that a 10-year-old wants to do, and vice versa. And if you have kids at home, you know this. So I just happen to have here a list of some of the activities by group that Norwegian does, and I think you'll find it similar for the same age groups on other cruise lines.
Wow, you are so planned.
So for Guppies, they're gonna experience sensory play, music and movement, and colors of the rainbow, which I'm curious to know what that's about. But that's for the little kids. The Turtles, that's the 3 to 5-year-olds, are going to experience arts and crafts.
Yeah.
Circus school, and it just says here Tiger Act. I'm not sure what that means exactly. I'm curious.
Do you think they give them turtles too? Chocolate turtles?
I don't know about that. So again, the 3 to 5-year-olds, the Turtles, they're called turtles. They don't give them turtles.
Chocolate turtles?
No, okay. I don't think so. Developmental activities, sensory play, storytelling, parades, like you were talking about before, and treasure hunts.
How old is that group? 3 to 5?
That's 3 to 5.
Oh, maybe they can't have chocolate.
Maybe not. Yes. Did you want to do one of these?
Sure.
Okay, you want to do the Seals. So 6 to 9-year-olds. What do 6 to 9-year-olds do?
They have circus skills and show, like scarf juggling, plate spinning.
Scarf juggling?
Yeah, you can get a stack of scarves and try and juggle them, I guess.
Wow, okay.
Devil sticks and rope spinning. They have theme nights, painting, sports and games, team building challenges, parades and treasure hunts, and video games.
Wow, that's a lot of cool activities.
Yeah,
so that was the 6 to 9-year-olds, the Seals group. So the Dolphins, ages 10 to 12, do an entourage takeover. So they get to take over the teen club at certain points. They also have the circus skills and show, where it says stilts. Kids get to they get to try out stilts.
Oh,
Wow!
yeah.
Ball
Sounds-
juggling, Chinese yo-yo, plate spinning, and devil sticks. Devil
Wow.
sticks scares me a little bit.
I know.
And the 10 to 12-year-olds, the Dolphins, also get to do scavenger hunts, theme nights, survivor spy.
I wonder if they're nunchucks or no.
I don't know.
Devil sticks.
They also do sports and team building and video games and challenges.
There you go.
So-
So the Dolphins and the Seals challenge each other. I
Maybe.
bet.
And then that just leaves the entourage. That's the teens. And on Norwegian and other cruise lines, I think what you'll find for the teens is that they're going to be doing, based on what we've seen, a lot of with video games, social interaction,
Mhm.
playing games like we've seen, like what do you call this? The little soccer men on a stick game. What do they call that? The hockey? It's not air hockey.
Air hockey.
Pool. Different games like that.
There's that new one of the gaming systems has a new like gaming thing you can.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you just making stuff up now? I don't know what you're talking about there, but yeah.
It's called like the Switch or something. I don't know.
Oh, the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's
See?
so yeah, a lot of different age appropriate activities. So we hope that gives you kind of an idea. We're throwing out a lot of information there, but we hope that gives you an idea of some of the things you can do. So let's just go through and throw out some of our big takeaways, big tips from everything we've covered here. Do you want to start, or should I?
There's something for everybody.
Something-
From small to big.
Foosball. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
See that Journey
foosball.
Snows? I
What
couldn't
did
think
they
of it.
say?
Foosball.
Oh.
That's what it's called. That's what I was trying to think of. The little men on the stick. Yeah, that game I always lose.
Oh.
So
I always
foos-
lose. You do pretty good.
okay, so your tip was try different things.
Try different things.
Right.
And let your kids try different things because it's
Right.
their cruise too and it's their vacation.
That's right.
So let them try and explore different things because
Okay.
they'll have fun.
That's right. And I'll throw out a tip too. I'll go back to what I said earlier, which is if you have someone in your family that's a little unsure about this whole experience, put them in charge of doing the research, watching the YouTube videos, or looking on the cruise line website and looking for
Plan an
activities they want to
excursion.
do. Find
Yeah.
some things, and then have them come back to the family and share what they found. Get them involved in it, help them get a little more comfortable with the idea of going on a cruise with the whole family, but also help them, come up with some ideas of activities you can do as a family or that they want to do on their own.
Yeah.
Any other tips that you want to share?
Some cruise ships have like family game night.
Yeah, that can be fun too.
Yeah.
And I'll say also another tip is, and I mentioned this earlier, I think we started with this, is plan some time to do things together as a family, as well as some time to do things by age or interest. So break up during the day and then do the things that the individual people want to do in the kids clubs or the water slides or going to the shows, whatever it is, but find time during the day to get back together at a meal or, at a time to spend some time doing an activity, maybe going to a show or whatever together.
Right. Or the mother and daughter could do the spa while
There you go.
the boys could go to the sports lounge or to the sports deck and play basketball.
Yeah. So there's something for everybody. So I think
There
that's
is.
a good tip is to find the different things that appeal to you and to do some things separately and some things together. It can be a lot of fun and build a lot of great memories. Another thing I was just thinking about is if you've got somebody that's a little more artistic or a little more into reading and that sort of thing, maybe to help them to get excited about the cruise or to help them to feel more comfortable with it, maybe look for a little journal type book. Give them something to take with the cruise with them and write their
So they can
experiences
write.
from the cruise.
Yeah, that's
So
brilliant.
they can
He's
they
so
can
brilliant.
go
He
back
has such
home and share it with
brilliant
their friends
ideas.
and read it in the years to come. Because the cruise, I mean, our first cruise was our honeymoon cruise. It was a very special experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be awesome to go back? We have memories from all our cruises, but to have a journal, I
Yeah.
think that would be a cool thing to have.
That would be.
Okay. Before we wrap up, any other and if anybody else has anything that we left out, be sure to comment and put it down below in the comments and let us know we
Exactly.
forgot, because I'm sure we forgot some great tips for family cruising
Exactly.
or things that you can do on our cruise.
Exactly.
So be sure to mention those down below. Also, be sure to
like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up.
Yes, we appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out.
Remember
And
to subscribe.
subscribe and put the notification bell on if you want to know when we're doing our next live. It's usually on Saturday at 3, but it can change. And in April, it's going to be a little crazy for us. So we might do an off schedule. And what do they call it? A drop-in show? No, that's not what it's called. We might do an impromptu show just out of the blue here or there. So be sure to subscribe to the notification bell on for that. And you can also join our Facebook group, which is linked down below, to follow what we're doing and to comment and share your own ideas or questions.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to be talking about Norwegian versus Carnival. We're going to be comparing two cruise lines.
Yes.
Just like we did with Sea Lake Journeys last week. Sea Lake Journeys compared Royal Caribbean and Carnival. So next week we're going to compare Norwegian and Carnival, and that's Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Next Saturday, the 26th.
Right.
Yeah. So anything else that what have we forgotten? We want to thank people for joining us.
Yes.
Yeah, and see, like, we're glad you appreciated the information. This is great information for any family. We appreciate that. So on that note, let's end on a high note. So we're told we did a good job by another great YouTube channel. That's a great way to stop.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.